Hello everyone. I recently bought a move bumper and I'm going to be showing how to put it together. I've got all the parts down here on the floor. Got them all laid out and a few over there. But it's going on my truck here. This 2001 F-250 and my bumper was ruined because a car hit my truck while it was parked and ruined the bumper and the grill and lights and stuff, so we're replacing this bumper.
Yes.
So anyway, the first thing it talks about doing once we get the old bumper off, it just unbolts from these plates right here, and basically what you do is you start bolting everything to the truck and tacking it together and getting it to where it looks right. Then once you've got it all tacked together and everything looks right, you can go ahead and finish welding it up. So I'm going to video the process and show all of you how it goes and what it looks like when it's done. So okay, so the first thing I needed to do was this bumper has, or this mount has three pieces that it comes with. It's got this piece here. It looks like it bolts right to the, according to the drawing, it looks like it bolts right here to the front of the I-beam for the truck. And then this one here bolts, or is tacked into place right here like this. And then after that, this one right here lays in just like that. And so I'm going to tack these into place, get them tacked and get them started, and then we'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Get started for you.
Yep. Dad, you're probably gonna ruin your screen by doing that.
No, okay.
So when you're welding, does that little reel inside just start moving? Wow. How did you get that corner?
Okay, so I had it on here one way, but I didn't have enough bolts because the old bumper only had 2 bolts. These 2 right here, and the nut on the back side is basically a metal plate. So I didn't have any way to bolt to this side right here, and I didn't have any way to put a bolt in way back here. And so, and I wanted to be able to bolt all these surfaces later with the proper bolts after I get done getting ready to put this thing in. So basically ended up breaking my first one, and I used some of these metal triangles, these magnet triangles here to kind of get my angles, get my angles right and get everything square. And basically just tacked it together really quick, just with a couple of tacks, just so I could get a look at it. And so this is how both of these ended up. I ended up just kind of fitting them to my truck and getting them on there and getting the bolts in so my bolt holes line up. So now that I've got these in, I'm gonna roll the main front piece over here and we're gonna see how it fits. Okay, so what I've done is after I tacked these plates on here, which I already showed you, I used my cart here and I rolled this centerpiece up here. What I did was I marked with a soapstone, I marked the center of the bumper from here to this edge over here, and then I used this gap right here. I just used this gap and made sure that I had a nice even gap all the way across. And once I got it kind of where I wanted it, I put 2 quick spot welds just right here behind the back. So that will allow me to move this cart out of the way now. So take this cart out of here, and then we can start working on like placing the two sides. So next I tacked this one corner on. I just kind of measured here to make sure it was nice and snug with the light, and then put 3 tacks on there. So now we're going to do the other side. Okay, so we've got both sides tacked on now. We tack this piece on here, this piece on right here, just with a couple of tacks. And basically all I'm doing is kind of watching this gap here to make sure it's kind of even all the way across. And then there's this little filler piece right here. So now I've done that on both sides. I got a filler piece here, got this hole, got this whole thing here on, and then this piece here. And looks like that side's a little tighter than the other one, but that's just kind of the way it ended up fitting. I ended up kind of having to overlap just a little bit right here. I don't know if you can tell that, like it didn't butt up quite as nice, but that'll have to be some grinding work that I do later to get it to look right. So anyway, that's what it's starting to look like. It's looking good. Okay, so I wanted to show you what I've done so far in this one joint to make it look right. I've been used the grinding wheel on it after I welded it, and kind of got it, and I got most of the weld ground off, and my corners all pretty, and I'm gonna have to polish it a little bit. Okay, so I want to show you the light mounts. So this is the one motor mount, or the frame mount on one side, and then this is my mounts for the little square lights that go on the side here. Okay, so I've got this finally done. A couple of things I did that maybe didn't have to do. There were a couple of marks, like fold marks here, where the metal had been bent around, and there was like a gap here and a gap here. I welded those in and sanded them off so they look nice, and kind of finished off those ends. And then the other thing I did was, when I put this plate in right here that kind of goes below the light, I wanted it to look nice along this edge, so I ended up welding it and then grinding this all smooth as well. So that is what it looks like all put together. I don't have it bolted on, it's just kind of sitting there, kind of waiting. We're going to put it in the back of the truck and take it down and have it powder coated, and then I'll show you a video after it's all powder coated and done. and the lights are in. Okay, so we got the bumper on and back from the powder coaters. Got my lights installed and everything's ready to go. So this is what the finished product looks like. These move bumpers are actually pretty easy. It fit really well as I was putting it together. So there wasn't any rework really to get it to fit. So I would suggest it to anybody that wants to build a bumper. It's a great DIY project. So good luck, you guys.